Hi, shalom friends. Order and priorities are very important. For example, let me tell you two words. Good looking, looking good. They seem to be conveying the same thing, and yet they're worlds apart. In fact, maybe 40 years apart. Because when you're 22, you're good looking. When you're 75, you're looking good. It's a big difference, whether you're looking good or good looking. If you say to your wife, I love you, that's wonderful, but it's not exclusive. You could also love Florence and Samantha. But if you say, you I love, it's suddenly now, it's not only changing the order, it's also making it exclusive. It's you. They're attractive, but it's you that I love. People work to vacation or vacation to work. If you're a caretaker, okay, and you go to someone who cares about you and about your patient and says, you should take off every Wednesday. Go walk by the beach, go shopping, see a movie. So someone sees you in the movie theater and says, I thought you were a caretaker. What are you going to say? I'm on vacation? No. What you're doing is you're taking a brief interlude so you could be a true caretaker, because if you're burnt out, you can't help. But if you work to take a vacation, it's a different story. It's not the work that you're interested, it's a means to something else. In fact, the Midrash tells us a very charming insight into how Moshe was able to alleviate some of the pain of the Hebrew slaves even before he took them out of Egypt. According to the Midrash, Moshe, who was a prince in Egypt, growing up in Egypt, says to Pharaoh, he says, we have slaves, they're great for the economy, but it's counterproductive, because if we keep working them to death, not only will they die, but even while they're working, they'll be sluggish. So Pharaoh the wicked says to Moses, his prince, adopted son, what do you think? He said, I think you should give them a day off. Not, God forbid, that you want to give them a day off, but it will help them work more efficiently. So Pharaoh said, okay, and Moshe gave the gift of resting on Shabbos. Now, does Pharaoh get any credit to this? No. For him, it wasn't a vacation. It was an interlude. It was a brief break so they could work more. Of course, Moshe had in mind the benefit of the Jewish people. For them, it was a real Shabbos. There are certain people who eat in order to live, and other people who live in order to eat. To paraphrase a famous story in the Chabad tradition, the fourth Rabbi, whose name was Rabbi Shmuel Schneerson, overheard his children debating, is there a difference between a person who is spiritual in contrast to a person who is physical? And I'm paraphrasing. The spiritual person does physical things, and the physical person can often do spiritual things. So what's really the difference? So he calls in the Rabbi, who's the father of these charming and brilliant children, calls in an elderly Jew who used to work in the house and said, Ben Zion, did you eat today? He said, yes. Are you satisfied? He said, thank God. He said, tell me, why do you even have to eat? He looks at the Rebbe in surprise. So I could live. And then the Rebbe challenges him, so why do you want to live? And again he looks at the Rebbe in puzzlement. Why I want to live? I'm a Jew, I want to serve Hashem. Then he calls in a wagon driver, Ivan. He says, Ivan, did you eat? Yes. Were you satisfied? No, it was okay. Why do you eat? To live. Why do you live? So I could have some pleasure in this world. What the underlying message is, when this Ben Zion, the caretaker, when he was eating the physical, he was focused on the spiritual. I'm eating so I could live, so I could be healthy, so I could be well-adjusted, so I could serve Hashem. In essence, a spiritual person is 24/7 spiritual even when he's physical. Whereas The other fellow, this Ivan, a boor, some pretty uncouth. So, did you eat? Yeah. Why do you eat? So I could eat some more. Why do you want to eat? So I could live. Why do you want to live? So I could party. What's life without a party? So what happens if this fellow were to go to church or maybe say a prayer? Maybe in every untruth there's a touch of truth. Maybe when the founder of communism, socialism said religion is the opiate of the masses, maybe he wasn't 100% wrong. Because some people use spirituality / religion so they could live a better life, enjoy the physical more. So what am I trying to convey to you? It's important every once in a while just to stop and think to yourself, why am I doing this? I'm working, I'm married, I'm a member of the community. Why? Is it so I could be more comfortable? Am I eating so I could eat? Or am I here for a higher purpose, and in order to get to this higher purpose, to fulfill it, I have to do certain steps. So I cannot pray if I'm hungry, and I cannot do good deeds unless I have the assets, and I can't feed the poor unless I have food, and I really cannot raise a happy family if I don't have a proper place to live. So I'm working for all of those things, but I'm a spiritual person because even the physical is for the purpose and for the significance of serving Hashem. How long does it take to think these things? Well, we have daily prayer, and we have during the day every once in a while, or perhaps more than once in a while, think what you're doing and why. It will bring meaning to your life, and there's nothing more rewarding than a meaningful life. Thank you.